You're on.
It's showtime. G'day,
Hi,
I'm Cassie.
I'm Chris.
I felt like a children's entertainer then, actually.
You should do
Oh,
it.
I should do it. I think I tried once, so it was a
Today, we're learning
very,
about water.
yeah, great, great segue because I've got a big old cup of it. You are listening to Dug by Us, not a children's entertainment program. I mean, this is entertaining for children, but maybe
It
not.
gets childish.
It gets absolutely childish. And I feel like it's helpful. I feel like they're going to learn stuff. They might not realize it at the
Yes,
time, but they're going to learn stuff.
it's the best
Um,
way. Learn through play.
let's dive straight into some music. Last week, you brought in a song called Better, which I made a gag about it being a Screaming Jet song. It absolutely is not. It is the furthest thing from a Screaming Jet song that you could get, I think. Um, the artist is a Cozier. I'm not too
Yep.
sure if I've said that correctly, and I'm really sorry if I have not said it correctly. Um, you were blabbering and tangenty
Don't think
when
blubber.
you blabbered. And that I know that when you're on the blab, it means that you're just so excited and your brain is working faster than your mouth, and you can't clearly express it. And I also know that that means that you're really really digging it. And um, it's just such a cool sound, and it's like yeah, I feel blabbery now. I felt so composed before we were recording, but it's got so many elements to it that it's like funky and it's soul-y and it's pop and it's fun and it's cruisy as well. It just kind of is like a cruise, but then there is these like peaks. It's a really unique blend of sounds. It's a really familiar sound. Like it feels for me like that kind of mid to late 90s pop music. There was like a sound, is a throwback to that, but still really fresh and original, and I loved it. So thank you for chucking that one in the list because I don't think I would have discovered that otherwise. So thank you.
Yeah, and straight out of Melbourne. Get around it.
Love it.
Follow on Insta. Make because I think there's 4 songs released now. Kind of a couple last year. One called ISO, which what would that be about? Um, but no, I want keep a watch on her, please.
I will. I'm following now. And yeah, like Chris said, backing up that point hard. Follow people on socials. There's so many ways that you can support artists without spending any money, and we know that it's a really hard time for a lot of people right now. So, save their post, engage with their content, listen to them on streaming platforms. And if you do have money to spare, buy their music from Bandcamp, of which the artist that I brought in last week, Dolly Dagger, made this really powerful post on socials that I actually shared on the Doug by Us Instagram. So if you do want to check it out, find us at Doug by Us. It's just really painting a very blunt picture of how much money people make from music or musicians make from music. It's gross.
Yep. So you don't. The idea is, one way of tackling it is you get limited revenue from your streams, but then you can go and play shows and make some money that way. Uh, that's a theory, and um, so help them out if you can. Yeah. So far, she's made $2 from streams, maybe
Yeah.
10 cents from me and 20 from you. Uh,
So that's, yeah, it just, I guess, stresses the importance of if you hear something you like, support it. Go back to the old days, like you and me, Chris, when we would buy a CD and the artist would actually see money for their hard work. It's if you can get behind them and don't give streaming platforms all your money. But do because then that's also how they get paid. Oh, I'm so confused. The music industry.
exactly.
Oh,
Everything's a minefield. Everything. Can't win them all. This song wins though, and I can't wait to hear more of what Dolly is like working on, because you described the sound and the like the zeitgeist that song brings its influences from, which it'd fit right on any '90s compilation that we would have owned right at the end. Um, and in that space, with this kind of kick-ass sassy attitude that she has, and I there's gonna be some cool stuff that we hear. Like I think it's very exciting.
yeah. And it's super relatable. If you do watch the film clip on YouTube, she's there FaceTiming with like her mum and her friend, and the face like time is like ahead of a person, and it's just this really sarcastic look at what life is like at the moment. So it's like this weird giggle, and then you realize, oh, this is reality, and then it's depressing. But thanks, Dolly.
But well, yeah, just there's these little bursts that are a bit angrier than others, and it's yeah, it's very cool.
Yay. So, Chris, what are you digging this week?
Um, Speaking of like yeah, just support. I want to. There's an album that I've been really excited to hear that it just got delayed release for the second time, and I'm like, oh, COVID lockdowns. Oh, I can't even release albums
Oh,
anymore. But um, it's a band that were kicking us and taking names in the late '90s, and all the way through. I think one of the favorite bands I grew up with. She had their album was supposed to come out like yeah a month ago, and then it was supposed to come out this week, and now it's into October. But it's called Old Gods, and it's loud as and it's angry as, and you can insert beats if you want while you're putting this together. It's just
I
got
can't be bothered, mate. Let's do that again, and I will do it. You say that line again.
nah, that's all right.
Beep.
Um, oh, you're gonna say it like that? Okay, great. And she had it just great. And like yeah, we saw them at the start of the year at separate shows, but they still have they they got so much energy. I don't know how John Toogood finds so much energy to share from his tiny body. I don't know how that comes out, but it does. And I want everyone to hear the album. It's called Old Gods. The third song that they released from that is it's been kicking around a couple of radio stations, and ever since the first time I heard it, I wake up with it in my head half the days of the week because it's catchy as, and I want everyone else to realize how catchy that is. It's called Feel the Fire, and it's probably the slowest song on the album, but like the softest one, but it still just kicks. So Feel the Fire by She Had this week.
Did you choose the softest one they've released so far because you're a bit soft these days? That joke was terrible. I
No,
love that. I love She Had. They are like just solid top five live bands ever. Top five bands energy wise ever. I just adore them. I have since I first heard them back when I was a wee lass. And yeah, I agree. Like this new stuff is just so good and fun and heavy rock, but also powerful lyrically. And it's something that I just have never paid attention to with She Had. Um, and particularly now, like there's just so much to be angry about. And it's just really great that they're using, as you know, Clueless would say, their popularity for good. But like all seriously, I just think that it's so important to have these conversations particularly with that sort of older rock fans, let's say, who might not be having these conversations in their everyday life. I am super bummed that album has been bumped again. But look, I just hope that when it does come out, that's things open and we can see them again because their live shows are just like so kick ass. And it's not just John Toogood, the rest of the band bring that hard energy, but they're just kind of there, just
they're
like
the best.
supporting him. They're there
And they're the
like,
same guys. Like,
yeah, yeah, that's it. Same lineup this whole time. And I just feel like, you know, the people that get them here in Australia get them, but there's so many people that are a bit confused by them. But
yeah, or they don't even know them. Like,
no.
still, like, come on.
And Chris and I will put together an idiot's guide to She Had if you are wanting to know where to start because we are both very passionate about this band and I feel like we know. I mean, we could go on rock quiz and our subject could be She Had, and I think combined as the one team we would win. There's also the film about them, which is super interesting, and it's pretty real. So if you do have the time and you are looking for something to watch, I highly recommend it as well. But thanks for shouting out to She Had because if you didn't, I probably would have soon.
Good. What are you digging this week?
I am digging a Melbourne-based artist. They've just dropped a brand new song. The song is called Waves, and it's quite chill and it's quite different from their usual stuff. Usually it's a bit more gruntier, but I'm really enjoying this new chapter of this artist. The artist is called Moju, and I saw them on the new season of Spicks and Specs recently. Recently, meaning like a couple of months ago. I don't know. They were a guest on the show and they then performed after doing the whole fun and games. And I don't know if they performed this song or not, but I know that the song that they performed wasn't released at that point in time. And it just reignited my love for Moju, and I forgot. You know, some artists, when they're not doing stuff, you kind of like out of sight, out of mind. And that's exactly what Moju is for me, unfortunately. And I need to like slap myself in the face and just be like, just chuck it on more often because it's such a fun sound. Not fun, but like just a really emotional, and maybe that's why I don't listen to it too much as well, actually. Maybe it's a bit too much. But this
They've got a lot of soul, man. Like, yeah.
yeah, it is heavy. I think that's it. Maybe it's a bit too heavy to be just dropping every day. But the performance on Spicks and Specs was fantastic. And if you can, or if it still is available on the online somewhere, check it out. And then I've been itching for this new release. You know, when you're just like checking, like I'm checking socials like every
Yes.
week, being like, "Have you dropped it yet? Have you dropped it?" So it's finally here. It's Waves by Moju. It's a little adventure. It's kind of like going on a holiday for a few minutes.
A few minutes. All right, that's nice. We've got artists with a link now, though. I must say we've both got artists that have changed their name.
Ooh. Ooh.
That's the link. Moju, previously known as Mojo Juju.
Are we becoming the chain? Watch out, Britt Aylan.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, Britt Ayland, and your duck cake.
We're
She'll
not.
understand that reference.
Okay, we're not
Um,
Brit. You are doing the chain so well, and we could never compete.
this episode is called Duck Cake in
Okay,
tribute to Britt,
done.
but you have to vote for the swimming pool, not the duck. I watched your face there. You've got no idea. Josh Earl, who hosted Spicks and Specs for like a minute,
Yeah.
um, he's running a poll on Twitter at the moment of all the cakes that are in the Old Women's Weekly Cake Book. Multiple choice
Oh,
knockout poll. Get on it. Britt and I have been conversing over that. She likes a duck cake. She once made it. I think it's only overrated now because it's in Bluey, but I'll prefer the swimming pool. That's my story.
okay. So the swimming pool was great. I think there was a jelly element to it, but it would have taken mums around Australia a lot of time, and they would have been pretty tired on the birthday party day because they would have been up all the night before making the pool cake. I
Yeah.
think that the pool cake has too many extras as well. Like you have to go and buy the people to put in the pool.
Okay, so what are
Um,
you voting for then, huh?
the duck is delicious because it's
That's
got
good.
that buttery icing, right? You get the yellow icing
Oh,
because it's buttery, and I love a buttery icing. Saying that, my favorite cake was the ghost until my
okay,
mum
the
made
ghost.
it for my 10th birthday, and it actually tasted terrible. And the eyes were eggshells. Eggshell eyes for a 10-year-old. What psychotic stuff is this?
Were they supposed to be eggshells, or did your mum just do that?
Oh, that was probably a Narelle Walker original, actually. She probably just went a bit of flair. Oh, I'm just going to do it this way. She's very creative.
Hi,
Shout out, Mum.
Narelle, if you're listening. Yeah, good stuff. Good banter. It's a music podcast. Stay for the cakes.
Come here for the music, stay for the sweetness. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Chris. It's great to see your face virtually. I will give you the disclaimer. No, get it away. We are sounding a little rubbish, and we know that we do sound like we're coming from a toilet. We're not. We are recording on our laptops. We are getting Chris a new microphone. It's just taking a little while, thanks to you know what. So we made the decision to still do it on average audio because we just wanted to do it and we love bringing it to you. So thank you all for persisting through our average audio to listen every week. It brings us joy. Now, finally, for everyone's favorite segment of the week, it's Guess the CD. We've started this thing a few weeks ago and it's been fun. Chris has been putting a CD on his dresser in the background, and as a way, I think, on work calls to see if anybody notices it. And now we've created a segment that we're playing on Instagram, again, at Doug by Us on Instagram, to see if any of our listeners can guess it. Now, it's far enough away and the video is pixelated enough that it's a bit hard to make out. Previous episodes, we've had some absolute corkers. The one before was pretty easy. A lot of people got it, but this one is a little trickier. So Jess has said that she knows it, but she can't work it out, her brain. And I thought it was Foo Fighters, as did, we had a couple of other people also think it was In Your Honor by the Foo Fighters, of which Chris assured me last week it wasn't. Now, drumroll please, what is the big reveal of this week's CD?
The CD from my dresser last week was still with the 10, 20 pounds sticker on the front because I got it from Cashies. Skunk and Nancy, you stoosh.
Oh, that is...
Yeah.
I can totally see why I thought it was Foo Fighters In Your Honor, though, from a distance.
Yeah.
Close up, they are not the same cover.
No.
Thank you.
Get on it.
Hey, can I do a screenshot of that? Do that again.
This.
Thank you. Cool, done. I will be posting this week's CD on the dresser on the gram, so check it out. Have a play.
Can you guess that? Do you know what that is?
It's... Oh, is it Travis?
Travis?
Yeah. You know the band that did Why Does It Always Rain on Me?
Yes, I do know Travis.
It's not.
Travis.
Okay, I could tell by the laugh that it's not. Do you even own that CD?
No.
Cool, great, excellent. I was the only one that went through
Sing. There's
Yeah.
this gibberish bit. The song in the second verse of Sing, he just made up things because he couldn't come up with a rhyme, and no one noticed.
I love that. It's just like a lot of songs, or this podcast.
Hey.
Hey! All right, thanks for listening. I'll chat to you soon.